Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Moeed Pirzada to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Moeed Pirzada's words. I am returning to this YouTube channel after almost 3 days. I don't remember the last time I took such a long break from posting videos on this channel over the past 2 to 3 years. And the reason for this is that I have been exploring things in Washington for the past 2.5 days. I wanted to understand a lot of things, and I realized that just reading books or observing from a distance doesn't give you the full picture. You also need to meet people who are close to the decision-making circles within the system. So, I spent these 2.5 days in this regard, and I have some very interesting insights to share with you. How is Pakistan being viewed from within this system? Why is General Asim Munir being seen as so intelligent and important? These are all very interesting things. Right now, I am sitting on the side of a street outside a coffee house at George Washington University, where it's quite difficult to shoot this video because there are so many people around, the noise is very high, there's traffic, and on top of that, the light is so low that it's difficult to see the notes. You might not even realize from the video how low the light is. This is the wonder of an iPhone, where it's hard to tell. But it's hard for me to look at the notes, so I might have to record this in small parts. Now, the most important international development related to Masha Mushtaq regarding Pakistan itself is the meeting between US President Donald Trump and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, which many people have been waiting for. After this meeting, they held a joint press conference, where the US Prime Minister assured the world that the Israeli Prime Minister had agreed with his 20-point agenda. Previously, this was being referred to as a 21-point agenda. At the moment, it's unclear how this 21-point agenda was converted into a 20-point one. However, from Pakistan's point of view, the very interesting thing is that even before the joint press conference, Netanyahu was welcomed at the White House, where Trump shook hands with him. After that, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif welcomed the meeting and issued a message in 5 short paragraphs, which you can see on Shahbaz Sharif's Twitter handle and in various Pakistani newspapers, assuring full support for Trump's 20-point agenda. Specifically regarding the Abraham Accords, Shahbaz Sharif's message indicated that Pakistan fully supports this agenda and the way forward for Gaza. He praised Trump's leadership in almost every sentence, expressing full confidence in his leadership. The last point in the message was that Pakistan supports a two-state solution, even though the two-state solution has now been completely diluted. This situation has clearly caused a huge backlash, not just in Pakistan but also among the global Pakistani diaspora, with a state of mourning and chaos. But will this lead to any concrete results? I'm not entirely sure, but I'll talk more about that in a moment. Additionally, another interesting and, well, rather disturbing development is that in several cities of Azad, Jammu and Kashmir, especially in Mirpur, Muzaffarabad and Kotli, there has been a tense and chaotic situation. Pakistan's military and security forces have been patrolling these areas. In Muzaffarabad, 2 people were reported killed, and more than 20 others were injured in firing incidents. This is, in fact, the first time in 77 years that such a situation has occurred between Pakistan and Azad Kashmir. Then, in the last 24 hours, Imran Khan's sister, Mrs. Alima Khan, once again held a press conference to share details about a meeting with Imran Khan. In this, she mentioned an interesting development where, in the last 24 hours, a team from the Federal Investigation Agency, FIA, met with Imran Khan. They gave him a 5-point questionnaire, which primarily focused on the things happening on Imran Khan's social media, especially his Twitter handle. Why is this significant? It seems that efforts are being made to create a new case against Imran Khan based on his Twitter activities. Also, in the last 48 hours, there have been some interesting developments concerning Mohsin Lakhmi's activities, how he took a cricket trophy to his hotel room in America, and the significance of a photograph with FBI Director Kash Patel. These are some of the ongoing issues I'm looking into, and I'll quickly go over them in the next section. The interesting thing that happened is that Shahbaz Sharif, while welcoming Trump and Netanyahu's 20-point agenda, made it clear that Pakistan's Prime Minister and Field Marshal Asim Munir are fully backing this plan. In his speech, Trump emphasized that he has the support of key figures like the Egyptian President Sisi and Pakistan's leadership. This is a very significant statement because, honestly, it's unusual for a US president to openly name certain countries as supporting his plan, especially in this situation. Trump named Pakistan and Egypt, but curiously, he did not mention countries like Britain, France, Spain, Italy, Canada, Australia, or Saudi Arabia. This signals something important, especially when it comes to making a major global decision. US presidents often seek support from various international players before presenting their plans. In this case, Trump's references to Pakistan and Egypt underscore the importance of these countries in his proposed peace plan. Now, as for the details of Trump and Netanyahu's speeches, both emphasized that the peace proposal they're working on with Israel and Palestine is, well, an extraordinary opportunity. If Hamas rejects it, Netanyahu said he has the full right to deal with them however he sees fit. The peace proposal consists of 20 points, and so far we haven't seen all the details published anywhere. Some media outlets have mentioned 4 or 5 points, but Hamas, after listening to Trump and Netanyahu, issued a response saying they hadn't received the full list of points yet. From the few points we know, it's clear that Hamas will not play a role in the solution, and the plan includes a force that will disarm Hamas and demilitarize Gaza. There will be no forced evacuation of people, but they'll receive employment through reconstruction projects funded by Arab nations. The International Muslim Stabilization Force will handle the disarmament, taking the responsibility off Israel's shoulders. This is a unique and interesting situation. In response, Hamas has said they'll welcome any lasting peace agreement, but emphasized that they cannot support a structure where they are excluded from the governance model. They rejected the idea of Tony Blair being part of any peace board, citing his role in history. Interestingly, this entire peace process is being pushed forward under the leadership of Donald Trump, with some surprising allies, and it's causing a massive stir, particularly in Pakistan, with debates over whether this will be a game-changer for the region. The dynamics are complex, and many questions remain unanswered. Finally, a controversial picture was released showing Shahbaz Sharif and General Azim Munir presenting rare earth metals to Donald Trump, which they're apparently offering to meet the US demand. This photo caused a huge uproar because it seemed like a demonstration of how they're offering resources to the US, with the implied message of support. The Pakistani side didn't issue this image, and it was released by Trump, who likely wanted to showcase how seriously he's taking these meetings and the potential value of the resources involved. But this picture, after which many questions have been raised in Pakistani minds regarding the Field Marshal and General and poor Shahbaz Sharif, it appears that they do not make any statements. A lot of questions have arisen in Pakistani minds regarding this, and clearly, a debate on this is still ongoing. An important thing that happened in the last 24 hours, or rather in today's meeting, is that a phone call was made from the White House's Oval Office to the Prime Minister of Qatar, from which Netanyahu spoke to the Qatari Prime Minister, and apologized for the September 9th airstrike in Doha, where Israeli forces had attacked to kill Hamas members. When the apology was made from here, Israel's Minister of National Security made a big statement. He said that the Israeli attack in Qatar was absolutely Israel's moral right, and Qatar supports terrorism. However, under American pressure, Netanyahu apologized. You must remember that about 3 days ago, or maybe 2.5 days ago, I published a video in which I had a discussion with barrister Shehzad Akbar and Haider Mehdi. I had a slight disagreement with both of them. I said that the people of Pakistan are very naive, innocent or foolish, and whatever they say, they cannot stand by it for long because an entire atmosphere and optics will be created. An imagery will be presented in front of you from Gaza, from the Middle East, which will then be supported by many voices in Pakistan. So this is a change in optics. In other words, Netanyahu apologized to the Qatari Prime Minister. That's a change in optics. Once the reconstruction process begins, you'll see even more changes in optics. I also feel a lot of sympathy for the people of Pakistan who are repeatedly made fools. Every time a big fool makes them believe something, they think that person is a hero at that moment. Right now, a well-known TV personality, an anchor or entertainer, has been assigned the task of supporting Abraham's God and trying to convince people that Imran Khan also supported a two-state solution. Although, right now, there's no remaining two-state solution, and this is the same person who once used to host programs full of violence, where he portrayed himself as a Robin Hood, entering police offices, government offices, abusing people. and even getting into physical fights with police officers. Many millions of people in Pakistan used to foolishly believe that this entire drama shown on TV was real. No fool in Pakistan understood that this was all a staged drama to make people fools. Although some of it has been exposed in the last 24 hours, I've seen that the media is once again using this personality to fool people. Now, about Imran Khan. First, let's look at this increasing situation. It seems that the troubles that have befallen Imran Khan are largely related to the resistance he showed against the Abraham Accords or the situation in the Middle East. This is also his responsibility. You must have noticed an interesting development in the last few days when the drop site story came out about how the British Commonwealth and the European Union suppressed their 2024 election reports and didn't let them be made public. The Commonwealth said this had never happened in the last 50 to 60 years, and the European Union had never suppressed an election report before. What does this show? It shows that the Western institutions didn't want to give any space to Imran Khan. What big crime had Imran Khan committed against the West? It's true that he didn't engage with them, but what big crime did he commit that led the liberal democracy to approve of Pakistan's exploitation so badly? And I feel this is definitely connected to the unfolding situation in the Middle East. This certainly has something to do with Imran Khan's flight. In Pakistan, you've seen that in the last 24 hours, there's been a reaction regarding Shahbaz Sharif's approval of Donald Trump, but just rejecting something or chanting slogans and harshly criticizing it never works. For everything you want to fail, you need a counter-argument. Regarding the situation in the Middle East, Pakistani intellectuals, the media, the Foreign Office and politicians have not engaged with it in any way, nor have they developed counter-arguments. At this stage, this is a huge weakness. Now, regarding Imran Khan's meeting in the last 24 hours, which was mentioned by Alima Khan, there's one significant thing. A team from the FIA met with Imran Khan. They asked him 5 questions related to his Twitter account, regarding tweets that were against the state of Pakistan and comments related to Afghanistan's foreign policy. They also asked why he calls General Asim law and compares him to Yahya Khan. Allegedly, as Alima Khan said, Imran Khan gave very strict and detailed answers. However, I'm not that interested in the details. What intrigues me is, why did the FIA team meet with Imran Khan? Is a new case being made against him? If a case is made accusing him of misusing his Twitter account, what would its significance be? Could this be an attempt to tell Twitter through PTA that Imran Khan's Twitter account is being misused, even though he does not directly operate it? There must be a reason behind it. As I mentioned, I've been meeting a lot of insiders over the past 2 or 3 days, people who are not part of the Pakistani community and who are part of the system. One thing I heard from at least 2 or more insiders is that they believe General Asim Munir, the army chief, is an extremely intelligent and clever person, but he is only clever in pursuing his personal interests, not in Pakistan's national interest. They think he is a very smart person in terms of his personal interests. But I've never thought of General Asim Munir as a fool. I may disagree with him in terms of his work for Pakistan's interest, but I believe he is razor-sharp and very clever. The Americans have said that his situational awareness is sharp. He quickly understood that no government in Pakistan can run on internal dynamics alone. Pakistan's system relies on external support, and he quickly made very smart moves to ensure that. He was very worried when the 1991 House resolution came out, and since then, Asim Munir has been quite concerned. But after hiring lobbyists and understanding Donald Trump's mindset, he engaged with him and got close to him. He generated optics and smart moves, which is his intelligence. Similarly, he invited people like Gentry to discuss cryptocurrency deals and minerals, and the Americans say that he was so smart that he manipulated Narendra Modi's ego for Pakistan's domestic politics. Modi didn't even realize that he was being used for Pakistan's internal politics. And then, every step Trump had emotional or psychological needs, Asim Munir met them, including getting a Nobel Prize for bringing peace between India and Pakistan. Recently, Trump had a strong emotional requirement to have Netanyahu's meetings supported, and Pakistan was the first country to openly support it. In America, this is seen in a certain way. Now, regarding the situation in Azad, Kashmir, what's happening in Mirpur, Kotli and Muzaffarabad, where shootings took place and 2 people were killed while over 20 were injured, is unprecedented in the history of Azad Kashmir since 1948. Never before has there been such widespread sentiment against Islamabad in Azad Kashmir. As someone from Mirpur, I understand the local mindset, and I've never seen this kind of situation before. People are demanding that routes from Pakistan to Azad Kashmir be closed and that the Pakistani army carry out muscle exercises there. This demand stems from the severe mismanagement over the last 3 years. The demand to end the 12 parliamentary seats allotted to Pakistani settlers is another key issue. They believe these seats are a tool used by the Pakistani establishment to control Azad Kashmir's political structure. They also want to receive cheaper electricity like Gilgit-Baltistan and cheaper flour. As for Mohsin Naqvi, in the last 48 hours, he made some interesting moves in Washington, meeting with FBI Director Kash Patel and issuing a photo with him. He made statements about counter-terrorism, illegal immigrants, and officers' training exchanges. Many Pakistani Americans contacted me about this. They believed that Mohsin Naqvi was sending a message to Pakistani Americans that they are no longer safe, as they now have access to the White House and could cause trouble for them. They could deport them or create legal issues. While I can't confirm whether this is true or not, many people believe this, and it seems there is a project underway to target dissenting voices within the Pakistani-American community. This is something we can't take lightly. That wraps up our translation of Moeed Pirzada's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share, and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.